La serie de estándares de aseguramiento A1000 guía a las organizaciones en procesos de rendición de cuentas que incorporan a sus grupos de interés. También proporcionan indicadores, objetivos y sistemas de comunicación para el desempeño general de actividades. Marlene nos explica cómo se crea valor y se asegura la transparencia en los informes de sostenibilidad de las empresas.
Well, there are many ways in which companies can generate reports which are meaningful and trusted by the readers. We use the term stakeholders, but basically, those people and organisations who are impacted by the operations of the company. And to generate a report that's meaningful and increases trust, you need to understand what they're concerned about, what their expectations are. You need to make sure that you're giving a wide opportunity to stakeholders, to all the stakeholders, to offer their opinion. And then you actually think about it and work out what's the most important issues. And we use the term material, most material issues. And you should write your report around those material issues. And be willing to be accountable for your performance in those areas. And the final test would be to demonstrate that you're responding to the things that you're learning by writing that performance information. You have to remember that assurance is an outcome, it's not a process. So assurance has worked when the readers of the report are more trusting. But there are a number of standards that can be used to ensure that it's working. The first one is the AA1000 AS standard, the AA1000 assurance standard produced by AccountAbility, and that is a stakeholder-focused assurance process which tests whether stakeholders have been included in the conversation, whether the company understands what's important to them, and whether it's responding to what it's learned. The other standard I would mention is the one produced by by IFAC, which is the financial accountants body, and that's called ISA E3000, and that's a useful standard too. And I see it as being more of a quality standard which brings rigour to the processes for verifying data and claims in the report. Three principles which underpin the accountability standards applied to reporting are as follows. The first one is called inclusivity, and that's the one which ensures that all relevant stakeholders or people, organisations who are impacted by the company have the opportunity to input into the process. The second one is called materiality, and that's essentially saying do we understand what are the most important issues through a rational evaluation process based upon dialogue with stakeholders. And finally, the third principle is responsiveness. So the view of that standard is if those three principles are adhered to, then the company will be accountable and therefore trust should be achieved. Leading edge practice actively involves stakeholders in the assurance process itself. And there are many ways in which that can be done, but to give an example from my own practice, we regularly participate in, for an example, materiality workshops where the reporting company gets together groups of representatives of stakeholders, and we'll sit down for a day and we'll discuss their issues and we'll do a ranking and prioritisation. That's got to add value, hasn't it? Because if the goal is to understand stakeholder expectations and report the information they want, if you get the chance to have that conversation with them, then your understanding is going to be so much better.